Slow as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, TKL, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. TKL and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suits your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it. If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges.
The middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event with your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 rounds and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, live here from the Low T Center studio. 865-255-03, Irish Networks hotline. It's Friday. It is a different Friday. This morning, because on this Friday, we start with sadness. Yesterday, via social media, a lot of former players mourning the loss of their teammate, Ledarra McNeil, passed away in a car accident. This is one of the toughest things about being a fan, about doing this job is when you see young people, leave this earth way too soon. I remember Ledarra McNeil when he first committed to Tennessee, signed with Tennessee, and you got on the internet, looked up Ledarra McNeil, see what kind of player he was, and you saw a hard-hitting safety from Texas. Super excited about him being a Tennessee Volunteer. Went through some adversities with injuries. Came out on the other side. Was a very important player for Tennessee's defense. Respected by his teammates, and that's the thing that's more valuable than anything is when you walk into that locker room, or even after you play your last down at Tennessee, is to have the respect of your teammates. And the way you get the respect of your teammates is how you treat people, how you play the game. And Ledarra McNeil did both at a high level, which is why you see the response from his teammates. I know what it's like to lose a teammate close to you. Daniel Brooks passed away, a car accident in 2015. The day of the Oklahoma game when Tennessee lost Oklahoma at home, that night, that morning, is when it happened. And my heart just goes out to Ledarra McNeil's family. We lost a brother in our Tennessee family. And it's one of the toughest things about, again, doing this, man, and being a fan, because we treat our players, like family. And we lost a member of our family, in Ledarra McNeil. So, again, my thoughts and my prayers go to Tennessee football family, Ledarra McNeil's family. It's just a tough day, and we went too long ago when Kentucky had a basketball player was getting ready to go to the NBA, passed away in a car accident. And I know it hit Big Blue Nation, but it hit me too, man. And you just hate to see, hate to hear when young people leave this earth way too soon. So, man, it is Friday, but it sure is a different Friday, man. As we come to you live from Knoxville here on the Swain Event app that's free for Android Apple devices. Ben, good morning, man.
Good morning, my friend. Yeah, very sad news last night as it trickled out that Ledarra McNeil passed away in a car crash, and was tough to see all the tweets coming in. I know it's just Twitter, but his teammates, guys like Brian Randolph, who I believe they came in together, if I'm not mistaken. If they didn't, they were pretty much at Tennessee at the same exact time for the length of their careers. So I can only imagine what a guy like Brian Randolph is going through this morning. He put out a nice tweet last night. Just really sad, man. 27 years old, had his whole life in front of him. I obviously don't know his personal situation. I don't know if he was married or had a girlfriend, had a child, or where he was in life. But I mean, I just kind of looking at it from my point of view. I mean, I'm only a year and a half younger, and my wife and I are so excited about this next step that we're taking in our life right now as we move into a home and talk about when's the right time to start trying to have kids, and I mean you're supposed to have all that to look forward to at Ledarra McNeil's age of 27, and it just breaks my heart that he doesn't have the rest of his life to live, because he's supposed to experience so many great things of life because he is so young. So that was my first thought, that my heart just breaks that he wasn't able to do that. And obviously my thoughts and prayers go out to his teammates, his family, everybody close to Ledarra McNeil, because by all accounts he seemed like a really great guy.
Yeah.
Never was in trouble.
No.
Had to deal with the neck injury that nearly ended his football career, and he was able to come back and still play and pick off some passes. So I always enjoyed Ledarra McNeil. So my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody close to him.
Ledarra McNeil came in 2012, according to bio here at utsports.com. Was a freshman there in 2012, and he started 7 games. Brian Randolph, according to UT Sports, came in 2011. But there's just something about a bond between guys that play the same position, free safety, strong safety, or guys that play receiver, guys that play on the offensive line, because you spend so much time with each other. That bond is formed really, really quickly. It could be because you play the same position, or it could be roommates. And so, yeah, you have the big team, and those relationships will form there. But, I mean, when you spend time with each other, either as a roommate or someone that plays the same position that as you, and you play together, like you are two of the starters, and one is free safety, one is strong safety, you're constantly communicating with each other, and so many opportunities to, form a strong relationship. So I can only imagine what Brian Randolph is going through, and guys that were super, super close to him on that football team. So
I imagine it touched Willie Martinez as well. Willie Martinez coached Ledarra McNeil, and speaking to Willie Martinez at a camp in June over at the football complex, I mean, he was kind of talking about guys that he likes to recruit, and what he's looking for in a safety, and one of the guys he brought up was Ledarra McNeil, and that stood out to me because Ledarra McNeil did not make any all-conference teams. He wasn't a star safety per se, but it stood out to me that Willie Martinez, when talking about guys that he likes to pursue, I mean, there's a part of Ledarra McNeil that he wants to find in guys. So obviously Ledarra McNeil made an impression on Willie Martinez that stuck with him. So I can't imagine what his teammates and former coaches are going through. I've never been through that situation, so I can't even begin to believe what they're going through. I can't even imagine how tough it was for you to go through Daniel Brooks passing, or anybody losing somebody like a teammate that close. My heart just goes out to them.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse Malona passed away in a car accident. Daniel Brooks passed away in a car accident. Teammate Matt McLaughlin passed away. It's tough, man. It's tough because when someone passes away, they're the same age as you, and you're like, goodness gracious, like you're not exempt when you're young. You do things, you say things because you feel like, oh man, I got, I'm young, I'm invincible, I can do whatever, and I got plenty of time. But when you see people your age pass away, man, it wakes you up, let you know that time here on earth is it's borrowed, it's fragile, and anything can happen, and you could be gone in a split second. So you cherish every single second that you have. Ledarra McNeil, UTSports.com, was a freshman All-SEC team.
Oh, there you go.
In 2012, you know, he started a lot of games his freshman year, 7 out of 11 games. So he was all SEC freshman team in 2012, and in 2015 he was Phil Steele's preseason third team All SEC. So he was a solid, dang good football player. I mean, he really was, and not many people will be able to come back from the neck injury like he was able to come back from. But he did, and he finished the right way. Just terrible. Just no other way to put it. Just straight terrible. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Take our first break of the day. Ben McKee, Jason Swain. Be right back.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill, or call 865-693-5400.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over. More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work from anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. It's a hot month for Tennessee in football recruiting. Adding another player.
It's 3rd of June, right?
July,
June, July, all the same, right?
man. We flowing and going in July already, man. So before you know it, we'll be like, oh man, they've got 2 already in August.
They got Masai Reddick about a week ago, maybe less than a week ago. And then I feel like they got and then Jordan Phillips, the defensive lineman from Florida. So 3rd in 9 days this month, and I think you'll see a couple more over the next couple of days as well.
Oh, you think so?
Mm-hmm. It would not shock me if there were a couple of others who are high on Tennessee's board choose the Vols.
It's good to know, Ben. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Marquez White, Squirrel, 5'10", 160 pounds. The boy is fast, blazing speed, 10.62, 100-meter time. Is he ranked? Yeah. I mean, he got a ranking. He 3-star, whatever. But I'll tell you the things that stand out to me, and I'm gonna go check out and watch his film here in the next break. I only need a couple minutes to see a receiver. It might take a little bit longer at other positions, but receiver, I think I got that down pretty good. But
Humble brag.
I mean, it is what it is.
It be what it be.
But you look at his offer sheet, and it's a pretty good offer list, Ben. Nice little offer list here.
Yeah, a nice amount of teams on that offer list. I would love to know which ones are committable and which ones aren't, but there's really no way for us to know. But if you assume that all are committable, it is a very nice offer list. Alabama, Georgia, Florida State, Michigan, Auburn, just to
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you can't teach speed.
No,
you just can't teach speed. That's the one thing that kind of stood out to me. Second, because I play high school football in Alabama, I have a pretty good understanding of Clay Chalkville historically and how powerful their football program has been and how serious they take football there. And so he comes from a program-rich, football-rich program. They're in Clay Chalkville, so I know they play some good competition. They play some good ball. He's not 5'6" or 5'7". He's 5'10". The 155, 160 pound, that don't scare me because he's not playing today. Like if you're trying to critique Marquez White about whether he can play, at the next level with this size, I can show you a Heisman Trophy winner in Alabama that came in at 150 something. White's not playing today. So whatever he weighs today, it doesn't matter because he's going to hit the strength and conditioning program. He's going to gain weight. He's going to develop his body. He's going to get even faster.
Yeah, that's also not really his game. Like you don't want a big, bulked up squirrel looking like a DK Metcalf.
No, you want the DK Metcalf was like 230, something like that. Probably was like that. It was at Ole Miss, but I don't know if you could have a 150, 160 pound wide receiver in the SEC. But
I guess my point is like Tyreek Hill is 5'10", 185, and I'm not saying that Squirrel is going to turn into Tyreek Hill. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. He's going to turn into one of the best receivers in football. But like Tyreek Hill's game is more. I mean, it's all centered around speed. It's all centered around speed, and 185 is perfect playing weight for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
And you may think that maybe that's a little light in the NFL, but that's his game. That was kind of the point that I was making with Squirrel.
Yeah, he's gonna gain weight, and he's gonna gain muscle. And when he gains muscle, he's gonna get faster. He's gonna be more explosive. And so I think about Emmanuel Mosley when he came in. Emmanuel Mosley was right around the same size when he came in from, I want to say, North Carolina, Virginia. One of those two states when he came in. Never played corner, was a quarterback at high school. Willie Martinez gets him. The strength coach, gets him. Dave Lawson and others under the Butch Jones era got him. They put good weight on him. There's a plan. And this is not hard to do. If you are a football program and you have a guy that's fast but he needs to pack on about 15 pounds, that's no problem at all. And you do it with eating the right things, extra protein shake here, there, and there, and then they pack on the muscle, and then before you know it, the player's packed on 15 to 17 good pounds or 20 pounds, and he doesn't lose a step. So the weight does not matter to me, but he obviously enjoyed his visit. When he came at the end of, I want to say May?
June.
June. Yes, right, June.
Last weekend of June.
Yeah, June. So he enjoyed his visit. When he was here June the 25th, and man, pulled the trigger yesterday. Knew for days that he wanted to be a Tennessee Volunteer, but made the announcement yesterday via Twitter. You got a chance to talk to him.
I did. Squirrel. Sounds like a really cool dude.
Does he like go by Squirrel? Like people don't even call him by his first name anymore. It's just Squirrel.
It's Squirrel, 24/7. Because I asked him, because I said, "What's up, Marquarius?" And obviously he responded to it. But then I asked him. I said, "So, do you go by Squirrel all the time, or do you prefer Squirrel? Do you prefer Marquarius?" And he's like, "I just go by Squirrel all the time." I was like, all right, Squirrel.
There it is then.
What's up with Tennessee?
So that means we'll get that in the program. We'll get Squirrel in the program. Also, when he scores a touchdown for Tennessee,
yeah,
they'll say Squirrel.
Yeah, I wonder what he'll do there, because that is a little more official. I imagine on his high school diploma, it's not going to say Squirrel White.
No, I ain't gonna say.
It might. I wouldn't put it past the brother from Alabama.
Watch it now.
You know I'm right.
But you're definitely right.
But I don't know. That will be interesting to see, because you do have players that go by like a nickname. They will put their nickname in the program, like you were just mentioning. I kind of hope he does go by Squirrel. But he was really high on Tennessee. Spoke glowingly of Cody Burns and mentioned that the two played Madden together on his visit, and them playing Madden together is not what got Squirrel to Tennessee, but it was just for him another example of the bond and the time well spent that he has had with Cody Burns, and thought that was the type of relationship that would be good for him in college. So he felt comfortable with Cody Burns, and I asked him what pushed Tennessee over the top, and he said it was Coach Heupel, just because of how genuine he is. He keeps it real with you, and he'll tell it straight to your face as well. He'll keep it real with you and say it right to your face, and he appreciated that. So I think it's a really good pickup. I know we say this quite often in recruiting. You never really hear anything bad said about a kid when they pick a school, but I genuinely think that this is a great pickup for Tennessee, as a matter of fact. You just can't teach speed. He claims to have ran a 4.37, and, again, he claims to have it. And he also said that it was hand-timed, so it was not a laser time, so not an official 40. But still, anywhere around the 4.37 range is fast, especially for a junior in high school, soon to be senior. And I think he also ran a 10.68 in the 100 meters. So you can't teach speed. Tennessee needs speed. It's game-changing speed. And just go look at what a guy like Henry Ruggs did at Alabama with just unreal speed. So, again, not trying to say he's going to be Henry Ruggs, but it's just game-changing speed. And Tennessee needs more game-changing speed to go along with Jalen Hyatt. And Hyatt will be a junior. Squirrel will be a freshman at that point. But you just want more Jalen Hyatts on your roster. And maybe not as tall and lanky as Jalen, but he does have the same type of speed. And I do believe that he was on Alabama's radar. He camped at Alabama this summer and performed well. And Alabama's coaches were high on him. And maybe if Alabama doesn't already have a commitment in the slot position, he may be at Alabama right now. So I think that tells you all you need to know about Marquarius Squirrel White. To me, it goes back to my opinion of William Parker Griffin, the offensive lineman from Pearl Cone in this past class. That was a 3-star. He may have gotten the bump to a 4-star. I don't know. But he was underranked. But he picked Tennessee over Alabama and genuinely, legitimately picked Tennessee over Alabama to the point where Nick Saban was not happy about it. Nick Saban really wanted him. That tells me all I need to know about William Parker Griffin, and it feels like there's a little bit of that as well with Squirrel, and the fact that if Alabama doesn't already have a commitment at the slot receiver position, it may be Squirrel that is their choice as the slot receiver in this class for Alabama. So that obviously has to make you feel better too if you're a Tennessee fan.
Yeah. I mean, we'll mention the star just so folks will know it, and it does things for different people. If you care about that, good for you. I'm sitting here looking at the receivers in 2003 class, my class, and 110th 2-star Jordy Nelson.
Wow. Where did he play? He played at like UMass, Kansas State?
Kansas State, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. But was a Pro Bowl player, number 91, from Jonesboro High School, home of Anthony Parker and Preston Williams and Chris Scott, 3 former players here at Tennessee. But Harry Douglas played at Louisville, also played with the Atlanta Falcons. And so he was a little old 3-star, and Harry Douglas was a small player too. He came in at 160, 6 foot 160 there at Louisville. I remember him making some huge plays there at Louisville. So those that get caught up in the stars, I'll say it like I've said before. Don't put too much stock in dudes who are not coaches. Like, take it with a grain of salt. There's a reason why a player is ranked where they are. They could be underranked. They could be overranked. It could be because a player is accessible, so you're able to see him at camp. It could be because, hey, this player goes to all of our camps. He supports our side versus the other side, so we're going to give him an extra bump. We've seen that play out. So take it with a grain of salt. Do yourself a favor and go watch the film. That's the best thing you can do.
Does the Jeremy Pruitt era make you a little more nervous about trying to trust the coach's evaluation, and not in saying that you should trust the recruiting experts' evaluations over the coaching staff's evaluations, but that was the thought process that I had under Pruitt, and I still have that same thought process, but I'm a little more hesitant to just completely buy in to just completely trusting the coaches, not even talking about trusting the rivals rankings over what the coaches are thinking, but there are some guys that Jeremy Pruitt didn't think we're going to be able to play at Tennessee, be able to play at this level. And a guy like Woody Washington sure would be nice to have on this football team right now. I'd take Trey Knox in a heartbeat. One that really sticks out is Adonai Mitchell. I think I said his first name right. But he's from Murfreesboro, and he enrolled early at Georgia and turned heads during spring practice at Georgia. So, I mean, there's been a handful of guys that were in the state of Tennessee, 3 stars. You know, the last staff kind of questioned the high school competition, and then now we look up and, well, they're playing well at other schools, Oklahoma and Georgia.
That happens all the time, though.
I know.
Yeah. So, like, you know how triggered we got after Butch Jones left and you heard the word resiliency? Mm-hmm. Oh, my gosh! Because that word was tied to a coach that was a failure here at the end of his career, and he drove you crazy. That doesn't mean that the word is bad. It doesn't mean that the word shouldn't be used, but we make that connection. Just because Pruitt had his faults in recruiting doesn't mean that he's the only coach that missed on some evaluations. Now, Pruitt saw some really, really good kids, but his problem was he didn't realize he had a Power T logo on that he was selling, and he had to actually do a little bit more work than the work that he did at Alabama and Georgia. You couldn't just flash a logo and them just come. It's different. And so he didn't understand the levels that he had to go through to get to that point. He just started to go swing for the same players Alabama and Georgia were getting in year one, where you wasn't even at that level yet. That was his problem. But I think he made the same mistakes as other coaches making when it comes to evaluations, because players develop at different times. And you don't know when a player gets to school how coachable he's going to be. He can be coachable in high school. He can totally change on you when he gets to college. You don't know how he's going to behave. There's just so many unknowns. You try to do as much research as you can. You try to spend so much time with the player and talk to him, but really you don't know. The coach that y'all had on a pedestal, the coach y'all still salivate over, who's coaching at a different SEC team, Lane Kiffin. I want you to, you might be able to guess this. His biggest miss as a college coach, he had a player come to camp, want to be here, didn't offer. That player is currently in the NFL, one of the best at his positions.
What position?
One of the best at his positions, one of the best college football players of all time, a Heisman Trophy runner-up. Lane Kiffin had a chance to get him before the school he actually went to had a chance to get him. He's a Super Bowl champion.
I'm blanking.
Tyrann Honey Badger Matthew.
Oh. Yep.
He was too small for Lane Kiffin. He goes down to LSU, and this is when John Chase was at LSU. Oh, yeah, come on.
We'll take you.
Come on. And then Honey Badger, at one point, was the best college football player in the country. If it wasn't for, the failed marijuana test, he would finish his career at LSU, but he got booted. He got booted and still was drafted high.
Booted from the boot.
But Tyrann Mathieu was told no. Lane was the coach. They struck out on that one. But it happens. Like it happens. It happens all the time. Because sometimes you just don't know how a young man's going to develop. You have no clue. It's happened to Coach Former. It's happened to the best of them. So that's why I laugh when, sometimes fans rip recruiting sites for one thing, but then will take their word. I mean, they'll jump off a cliff if they say a kid's a 3-star, they'll be like, well, it says a 3-star. But you just ripped the recruiting sites and said they're wrong because they didn't have, your team ranked high enough. But you let a star ranking totally influence your opinion on a young man. You gotta pick which one it is. This is why you just watch the film. Go and watch the film. Simple as that. There's no possible way that every recruiting analyst will know exactly what a coach is looking for unless they pick up the phone, which that happens too. That's why you see sometimes a bump. Sometimes it's genuine, sometimes it's not. Sometimes politics comes into play. But for Tennessee, with Squirrel White, you in early on him. You built that relationship with him. You have the inside track. But if Squirrel White continues to develop, he shows out his senior year, Tennessee they're gonna have an issue if Alabama comes calling.
I was just thinking that. I mean, if he impressed that Alabama's camp, and maybe there was a guy in front of him.
10.62 100-meter. Kids fast. Look at what Alabama has been doing over the last couple years and the change at wide receiver. They got a bunch of fast dudes. They target fast guys, and they got one of the best receiver coaches in the country. They'll develop them. So, yes, that's the biggest concern with Squirrel White is, man, if he blows up and Alabama comes calling, can Tennessee be able to hold Alabama off? Who knows? But good pickup for Tennessee. You gotta have speed. You gotta have wide receivers. That's going to be what Tennessee's able to sell to these recruits. Being able to score points. You better have some dudes on the outside that's fast, rather than have a bunch of, power forwards. You better have some point guards. The Squirrel White is a point guard.
Yep. I'll go out on a limb and say, outside of Taven Jackson, he is Tennessee's biggest get to this point. I'll take it a step further than what you just said. Not just a good pickup, but a great pickup. I'm putting a lot of stock into what folks from Alabama are saying about Squirrel.
They play some good high school football there, I've heard.
Yep.
I've heard Alabama got some good football down there.
Hopefully he doesn't
high school.
blow up too much his senior year. Have a good season, Squirrel, but not too good of a season.
We want the best for you, but not the best.
Score a touchdown rather than 2 touchdowns, please.
Yeah, we don't want you to be a high school All-American or anything.
Be a good teammate. Let somebody else score.
We want you to down the ball at the 1-yard line when you break off a 68-yard run, and then let the running back dive over the top, so that we can hide this hidden gem. Nah, I'm just kidding, man. We want the best for Squirrel, and let the chips fall where they may. That's exactly what we want. But good pickup for Tennessee for sure. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam, where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy. Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. As the weather heats up, so does our market, and from Johnson City to Knoxville, eager buyers are grabbing up many available properties. The chili is hot in East Tennessee, so if you are ready to buy or sell or want to talk more about our local real estate market, I'm just a phone call away. Or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Don't remind yourself, nobody built like you design yourself.
Attaboy. Attaboy is brought to you by Made in Tennessee Business Fiber Internet from Iris Networks. Find business solutions for you at irisnetworksusa.com.
Swain Event and SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, here with you on a beautiful Friday. It is the 9th of July, and it is time for Attaboy, where we highlight positivity and good stories. And our guy Ben has it taken care of today for Attaboy. So, Ben, take it away, man.
Going back to the University of Tennessee today for my Attaboy. I always try to highlight the Vols, unlike somebody else during Attaboy segment. Yet I'm the one. You going to give Kim Mulkey an Attagirl today?
You should know something good, I will.
I kid. But I'm going to Tennessee golf for today's Attaboy because assistant coach Bo Andrews has qualified or did qualify on Wednesday for the upcoming 121st U.S. Amateur Tournament at Oakmont Country Club in Oakmont, Pennsylvania, August 9th through the 15th. Andrews was one of two golfers at the Longmeadow Country Club qualifier in Massachusetts to make the cut for acceptance into the U.S. Amateur. Andrews shot a first round 66 and second round 68 for a 6-under par 134 to finish in a two-way tie with first alternate Ryan Kohler. Andrews is a Raleigh, North Carolina native, and he joined Tennessee's golf staff in 2018 and just finished his third year coaching in Knoxville after a strong collegiate career at Georgia Tech. He last made the U.S. Amateur in 2014, making the round of 32. He finished third in the 2020 Tennessee State Amateur. So my attaboy today goes to Tennessee assistant golf coach Bo Andrews for qualifying for the U.S. Amateur Tournament. Which
attaboy.
Is pretty cool. I always have thought it was cool how even like beyond, like people who aren't designated professionals can go qualify for events if they shoot well enough. But I imagine Coach Andrews is somehow a professional if he's coaching and had a great career at Georgia Tech. I don't know how all of that works, but have always thought it was cool how you can not be playing golf on a competitive regular basis, but still go out and qualify for some events as well. And he did that.
We were talking during the break about the NBA Finals, and man, last night the Suns, they get the win by 10. They lead 2-0 in the finals. I've been on record to say I hope the Suns win. I think they will win. But man, if you watched the game and you saw Giannis Antetokounmpo return from a hyperextended knee just days ago, last week in the Eastern Conference Finals, and you watched him basically put the team on his back, and yeah, they came up short, but still, man, he had 42 points. Only 3 dudes in NBA history has posted the amount of points that Giannis came close to posting the same amount of Giannis in one quarter in the NBA Finals. The graphic showed Jordan, LeBron, Giannis. Giannis hit 20 points in one quarter, and he came back from halftime and there in the third quarter, just absolutely took over. But he finished with 42 points. And one thing I'm critical of Giannis is he's been in the league for a while, and the shooting free throws should be something that every professional player should do well. And he's been atrocious every round. But this round, he has improved, man. Last night he was 11 for 18. And a couple times he hit 2 in a row. But I'm giving Giannis an attaboy for just man how he's played. And we rarely kind of give the losing team players attaboys. But man, Giannis' performance was very inspiring, and he just doesn't have a lot of help right now. Devin Booker went off for 31 points last night. But I'm giving it to Antetokounmpo, man. He's doing it with one leg. And that's just will, that's just desire to win. And he's competing at a high level on one leg. So I'm giving Giannis an attaboy.
Giannis is one of my favorite players in the NBA. He may be my favorite player who isn't a Grizzly and who isn't a Vol. If I had to just think off the top of my head, I think he might be my favorite NBA player, non-Grizzly, non-Vol. Just I love his personality, and as a fan of a small market team myself, I appreciate the loyalty from his end, on his end, for a small market team. Also why I love Dame, and why I hope Dame ends up staying in Portland. I get that it would be best for him long term, go elsewhere. But as a small market team, fan of a small market team, I like seeing Dame Lillard, Giannis kind of set a precedent that a guy like Ja Morant, showing a guy like Ja Morant that you can stay in Memphis and potentially lead your team to a championship. I know Dame hasn't had that type of success just yet, and it hasn't been his fault, but I would love to see Dame get there so he could show Ja that, hey, you can stick around in Memphis and win a championship. But probably won't ever happen. Probably be best for Dame to leave. But that's a Trailblazers issue, not a small market team issue. They did not surround him very well.
They did not. Hour 2 coming up.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
At Hiller, we care about your family's comfort all year long. If you get caught without air conditioning this summer, we're offering a free service call with any repair. That's a free service call when we do the work on your HVAC system. Visit happyhiller.com to schedule your appointment today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown or turnover. That is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. Better rates and better service. Swain Event is fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Flowing and going. Hour number 2. Do we see a sweep in the NBA Finals? Suns up 2-0. The next 2 games will be in Milwaukee. Do we see a sweep, touchdown, or turnover? Ben?
I say turnover. It's just so hard to sweep a team, A. And B, the Suns aren't that much better than the Bucks. The Suns are the better team, but to sweep the Bucks, I would be very surprised. I'd be stunned if the Bucks got swept, especially if they lost 2 in Milwaukee. And I don't know what the final score ended up being last night. Probably around a double-digit 10-point win for the Suns.
Yeah, 118 to 108.
Correct. And they kind of pulled away there in the second half. But it was a much closer game than what the final score indicates. Suns pulled away late, but for the first 2.5, 3 quarters, I mean, it was a back-and-forth game. And Milwaukee came out and was the better team in the first quarter, and then Phoenix did a good job of making adjustments there in the second quarter.
Threes.
And then Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton are just MIA. How is it that Chris Middleton does not play well when Giannis is in the lineup, but plays extraordinary when Giannis is out of the lineup? I think that's very telling to the Bucks and what they need to do this offseason.
Yeah, get rid of Giannis.
Yeah, get rid of Giannis. Which it doesn't make sense to me, because you would think with as much as Giannis, collapses the defense when he drives, that Middleton would be able to bust from 3. But he's also not that's not strictly Chris Middleton's game either. He's not a spot up shooter like a Klay Thompson. He's just kind of an overall, all around good basketball player. But I would be surprised if the Suns swept. My point in bringing up last night was that even though the Suns won by 10 points or so, it was still a pretty competitive game for much of the game, back and forth. And Milwaukee swung first. Game 1, it was, if I remember correctly, was pretty back and forth, and then the Suns pulled away late once again. So if Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday can show up, then I would be very surprised if they got swept. But the Giannis needs help, man. Yeah, he's doing all he can on one leg and trying to will his team to victory, but he is not getting a ton of help. Swain, I could tell you that. When's the next game? Sunday? It's Sunday at 8. Next game's on Sunday. I could sit here and tell you right now, Chris Middleton's going to go 4 for 15 and have 13 points, and you would believe me. I could also tell you that Chris Middleton's going to go 10 for 11 and have 30, and you would believe me. You have no idea what the guy's going to do on any given night. You know how frustrating that must be for a coach? So, I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
I did think
Giannis dominates the ball, man.
He does, but that should open up things for Middleton.
Yeah, I mean, it should. And maybe playing together is tough to do, where both of them are able to get off and have big time performances in the same game. But we've seen Chris Middleton show out when Giannis was out in that Eastern Conference Final against Atlanta. So it's not like he can't do it. It's something that Budenholzer has to figure out. How do you get both guys?
So.
I mean, he's won Coach of the Year 2 different organizations, when he was a Hawks head coach and when he's Bucks head coach. But he's been under fire as of late. We'll see what kind of adjustments he makes. I'm going to go turnover. I think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. I think it's going to be 4-1 instead of 4-0. But that's today's touchdown turnover. I was looking at this story while we were doing Attaboy. While you were doing Attaboy, I was looking at this really, really, really awesome story at the spelling bee, where a Louisiana teen, Zelia Vaughn Gardet, I think I said that right, won the Scripps National Spelling Bee, and not only can she spell, but she can hoop. She's a hooper. And I think we're going to be seeing her real soon.
She's in 8th grade, or is she older than that? I thought I saw where she was in 8th grade too.
Yeah, she's a hooper, man. I saw a video of her working out and training. She posted, and oh boy, she is going to be a McDonald's All-American.
Yes.
By the looks of it, but ESPN.com. Zayla knew she would be the first African American winner of the B. She knew black kids around the country were watching Thursday night. ESPN's 2's telecast, waiting to be inspired and hoping to follow in the footsteps of someone look like them. She even thought of Magnolia Cox, who was in 1936, became the first black finalist at the B. It wasn't allowed to stay in the same hotel as the rest of the spellers, but she never let the moment become too big for her. And when she heard what turned out to be the winning word, she beamed with confidence, and it was over. Declared the champion, she jumped and twirled with joy, and confetti shot onto the stage. Not only is she the spelling bee champion, but, man, she is a baller in basketball. So add a girl to Zayla Avant-Garde. And I'm saying Garde because, she's from Louisiana. They be saying things all kind of funky. So I'm going with Garde until I'm corrected. But
Don't say they say it funky. You have a bad Cajun roll up on
I know, right? I might have a
Tennessee Tiger's going to come get you.
I know, right? I know. Let's hope she don't go to UConn.
Yeah.
Keep her away from UConn. She might go to LSU.
Gino.
She might go to LSU. Who knows? With that Louisiana.
Oh, your homegirl Kim Mulkey now.
Kim Mulkey down there.
She may stay in Louisiana.
She gonna be a Lady Vol because she's smart. Don't look at me like that.
She's gonna be a Lady Vol because she respects what Kelly Harper is doing by not allowing recruits to wear the jersey until they commit.
I love that.
Are you fine with committed players wearing the jersey? Make it a little bit better?
Nope, it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm with you. It does make it a little bit better for me. It does, but I'd still rather them wait until they sign. Sign the dotted line, and then you get a jersey. But at least they wait until they're committed.
I mean, it's really hard to institute what Kelly Harper did. So I understand why. You say, all right, well, you can wear it if you commit it, because technically a kid can commit and decommit in the same day if they wanted to. But at least Kelly Harper is putting some hurdles out in front. And if a young woman wants to go back on commitment, that's on her. That kind of speaks to her character flaw.
Ooh, get him.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, if you commit and the school commits to you, and then you decommit, yeah, I mean that's going back on your word. That is a character flaw. Now, if a school commits to you, you commit to the school, and the school pulls a rug out from underneath you, then that's wrong on the school. That's a character flaw on the school. So we've seen that multiple occasions play out on both sides. But I'm still not pleased that anyone who is not signed, who have not paid the price, who have not, put some skin in the game, are able to wear such an iconic uniform, especially the Lady Vol uniform.
Yep.
And that goes the same with football uniforms across the country. I got a lot of respect for the football programs. I love my football program, no doubt about it. But I'm not naive to think that we're the only great, iconic football program, and it means something putting on the Michigan uniform or the USC uniform or the Notre Dame uniform. Like, it means something. It means something.
Why must I always remind you that it is not your football program?
It's my football program.
Brian Maurer's football program. It's not
mine.
your football program, Swain. It's Brian Maurer's football program.
It's
Why do
mine.
I always have to remind you of this?
It's my football program.
No, it's not.
Josh Heupel told me. He said it's mine.
Maurer has thrown more touchdown passes than you ever have, so it is Maurer's football program.
I caught more than he's thrown.
Fact or fiction? Maurer has thrown more touchdown passes than you.
That's a fact. I don't play quarterback.
You didn't encourage Cut to put any Antoine Randall plays into the playbook.
Hey.
Did y'all have an Antoine Randall wide receiver pass in the playbook?
Lucas Taylor threw a touchdown pass at LaMarcus Coker
That's
against Florida.
So what year was that for you?
06.
So your senior year.
Mm-hmm.
What about what was Lucas that year? How many years did you play with Lucas? Because Lucas was a high school quarterback, correct?
Yeah, he played a little bit of everything down in Louisiana.
Take that, Tennessee Tiger. Bet you wish you could have had Lucas Taylor, don't you?
I don't think LSU offered. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I bet they wish they would have.
Yes, right. That's right. Hurt you with that one. I think Lucas was a sophomore.
I guess what I'm asking is, was there a receiver pass prior to Lucas getting to campus? Or did a high school quarterback get to campus and then the play was put into the playbook?
I mean, dude, that whole receiver room was a bunch of high school quarterbacks. We had C.J. Faden. We had Chris Hannon. We had James Banks. We converted, a couple dudes from quarterback to receiver.
That's how Fulmer told you that there's nobody else coming in that receiver other than.
If I actually cared, man, I would have transferred in a second. If I actually cared, but I didn't because I was confident in my own game. But
so how many bona fide receivers did you come in with? Because Meacham was a year after you.
We came in together.
Oh, okay. For some reason I always think y'all are a year apart.
No, we were a year apart because he redshirted.
That's where.
But we came in together. There's 4 of us that came in. Brett Meacham, and then receiver named Bill Grimes. As I was looking at the list on a 2003 receiver list, he was a 2-star, but he came in with us too. So we had 4 receivers coming in that class. But I'll tell you the receivers I was expecting to be in that room.
But those 3 were bona fide receivers. I know Meacham was, but Brett.
No, Meacham really didn't play a lot of receiver in high school. He played like running back.
But they recruited him as a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
I knew signing day.
You also didn't have the tools to necessarily find that.
Yeah, I mean, I knew signing day, but I didn't care though.
I know,
because I was recruiting other receivers to come with me. So me and Steve Smith who went to USC and was second round pick by the Giants. Me and him was on our visit together. I was recruiting him to come here, and then Matt Cadell, who went to Alabama. I was recruiting him to come here too. I wanted to play around ballers because at Grissom, dude, I would get beat down, huh?
You played with bums.
I didn't play with bums, but man, the teams were double and triple teaming me, man. I understood the importance of having someone on the other side, so I wanted to win.
I know you didn't care, and I love that about you, but it's still a funny story. That you show up and there's more receivers in the receiver room than you thought there would be.
Oh, they didn't tell me the whole truth. I tell you that much. I came in the room. I did not expect James Banks. I did not expect Derek Tinsley. I did not expect Mark Jones. I was like, yo, this.
And this is on top of the guys that were returning.
On top of the guys that were returning. Yeah, but I wouldn't tripping too much because, I had a pool growing in fall camp, so it worked itself out. I wasn't not for 1 second upset about those guys being in the room. It didn't bother me one bit. As I look back at it now, I'm kind of like, man, yo, they ain't telling me the whole truth. That ain't cool, but it didn't bother me one time when I was in school because at the end of the day I thought I was better anyway. So
I love your confidence. John Kay makes a great point on the text box.
Let me be the judge of that before
J.J. Peterson has thrown the same amount of touchdown passes as Jason Swain. That is a great point, John K.
John K. missed it though. I thought he was gonna say that J.J. Peterson and myself are ranked right next to each other as far as the highest rated players in Tennessee football recruiting history, because we like right next to each other. I thought he was gonna mention that. But
Where do you think JJ will slot back in to the all-time Tennessee commits on the recruiting service when he commits out of junior college?
And he's grandfathered in, man, at that 4-star rating.
No, he's got his second recruiting profile now.
No, it's not gonna change here. It's not gonna change here. It's still gonna say 4-star.
Wait till he enrolls into one of the many Mississippi community colleges.
I'm waiting for all of us to get pushed back. I'm waiting for Tennessee to sign a big time 5-star, maybe push everybody down a little bit. Hopefully it's Walter Nolan.
Speaking of which, we did have a question about Walter Nolan on the text box.
Did I see his daddy wearing Tennessee hat?
You did, and that's what the question is about from Brandon B.
It's crispy orange hat too.
I seen Walter Nolan's dad posted a pic on Twitter with a UT hat on with the caption, "Go Vols." Could this mean we actually have a chance? Gardner must be putting in serious work.
Don't play with my emotions, man. Don't play with my emotions.
Tennessee has a very slim chance. There's a chance, but it's a very, 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 very small chance.
That's all we need right there.
Apparently he's feeling Florida at the moment. But
I ain't a big fan of...
a slim chance is better than no chance.
I ain't a big fan of moving to Knoxville to play high school football in Knoxville only to go to Florida. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
But is the possible reward of him moving to Knoxville to play football his senior year worth the risk of him going to Florida?
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely. But
Coach Gardner's done a really good job of trying to get Tennessee in the mix there. We'll see if young Walter holds off and takes an official visit to Tennessee this fall.
Walter, did you see what I inherited when I took over the defensive line job at Tennessee? Help me.
Walter Nolan would start on Tennessee's defensive line right now as a high school senior.
Walter, come on, man. Come on. I'm used to first rounders. Look what I inherited. Come on. You got to come here. Come on. I've been recruited by Rodney Garner. Like, I had no interest in going to Georgia. He was the only reason I took a visit.
Well, hopefully
I was miserable, though.
Walter's not thinking the same.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Let's go. Walter Nolan's daddy had a fresh Tennessee hat. Like, he just got it. Like, just took the tag off that thing.
I just hope he doesn't get a Power T sticker and put it on the back of his truck and then peel it off if Walter goes elsewhere.
No, we won't see that again.
And don't do that while in East Tennessee.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that. 865-255-03. Be right back.
Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. As the weather heats up, so does our market, and from Johnson City to Knoxville, eager buyers are grabbing up many available properties. The chili is hot in East Tennessee, so if you are ready to buy or sell or want to talk more about our local real estate market, I'm just a phone call away. Or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Ben McKee, Jason Swain. Friday, 865-255-03 is our telephone number. No payment for.
And tired of college athletes transferring from a rival school to a rival. In softball, it's happening with Tennessee, at other schools. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm fed up with it. I hate it. I truly hate it. I hate that there are athletes transferring to a rival school. It takes away from the passion and why we love college sports. But Demetrius Robertson is the latest to do so. The former Georgia receiver, who was once the #1 receiver in the country, signed with Cal, transferred to Georgia. He is now transferring to Auburn. Georgia receiver Demetrius Robertson is headed to Auburn. Good for him, but I'm so sick and tired of seeing somebody transfer to a rival school. It's taken away from why we love college sports. But Demetrius Robertson is headed to Auburn, where he'll have the lovely Bo Nix throwing him passes. We'll see how that works out for him. In my opinion, even bigger news is that LSU offensive lineman Dare Rosenthal is transferring to Kentucky. And Rosenthal started at left tackle for LSU and is transferring to Kentucky. So Kentucky continues to stockpile talent.
I was about to say, man, they got some.
LSU
They got some stuff brewing, man. Kentucky got some stuff brewing. And you keep an eye on those guys.
I know, right? And then the last thing I got for you isn't really an SEC note, but I thought it was an interesting college football note that ties into Tennessee. Remember Austin Kendall?
Yep, former Tennessee quarterback commit.
Mm-hmm. Who ended up signing with Oklahoma out of high school.
Yep, and then transferred.
To West Virginia.
Yep, and then transferred again.
To Louisiana Tech. He's going to play quarterback at Louisiana Tech this season and will be immediately eligible for La Tech beginning in 2021.
I bet Austin Kendall's the type of person that when, you go to a restaurant and you go to the counter, you order your food, and then you get a cup to go to the fountain to get your drinks. I bet he get all the drinks and put it in one.
Mixes it together.
Sprite, Powerade, Coke, Mountain Dew. All of it together. Because if you can't just pick one, might as well just get all of them, right?
That is one way to look at it.
Committed to Tennessee, went to OU for a little bit, transferred to West Virginia, transferred from West Virginia to now La Tech. But nothing beats hitting that fountain and just putting all the drinks in one cup. Nothing hits like that, man. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Dr. Pepper, too. You got to put Dr. Pepper in there, too. Yeah. Coke, Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, Sprite, little Powerade. Just mix it all together, man.
I'm good.
Mix it all together.
I'm good. I'll stick to my root beer or whatever I'm feeling that day.
Cedric Tillman was on the Slice podcast. He is now the vet. Says it's good to be back with his teammates, being around each other all the time. Remember, COVID is still a thing, but was a much bigger issue for these college athletes. They were trying to spend time together, but they were unable to because they were advised and encouraged to social distance. So it made it tough for those guys to spend time together. Now he's a vet. It's his time to step up. He says, technically, I'm the big dog. Guys like Jawan Jennings, Callaway, Palmer, I try to follow them. Now it's my turn to take on that role, and so I plan on doing that. He talked about his time growing up in Las Vegas, which, man, that would be – I couldn't imagine growing up in Las Vegas, man. I would have got in trouble. I'd have been in trouble.
What kind of trouble? All kinds?
Who knows, man. I'd have been in trouble. But he says growing up in Las Vegas is definitely different than Tennessee. It's a different lifestyle. Obviously, a desert, like I said. It's just home to me. I was comfortable out there. It's very cool. It's different than Tennessee. We have all the casinos, stuff like that. Knoxville is a quiet college town, but I like both. I like both places. Okay. It is different.
I would imagine so.
It is. It's like being in two different countries. That's for sure. He was talking about the high school football scene versus what it is here. It's not a big deal there. The South takes football a lot more serious than where I'm from. But his school, Bishop Gorman, they were one of the powerhouse schools, so they took it very seriously. A lot of people around us knew who we were, stuff like that. But for the most part, it's Sin City. When you think of Las Vegas, you think of the Strip. It's really not thinking. You don't think of sports like football. Basketball's a little bit bigger out there. Vegas is growing. We got the Raiders out there now, and we got the Golden Knights, the hockey team. Just got there a few years ago. On what made him fall in love with Tennessee, he says, guys, like I said, the older guys that used to be here, they were really hard on me because I was from a place they don't know anything about. So it was like, oh, who's this kid from Vegas? Who are you? I had to kind of show them I'm one of the boys, stuff like that. I always tell people when I'm telling people about Tennessee, you really don't know what it's like until you kind of step on campus. It was a culture shock. Things are just so different from where I'm from. Not that I adapted or changed. It was just a culture shock. It was just like, okay, this is how people get down. The biggest culture shock was football. My first time playing in the stadium, I kind of took a look around and was like, wow, whoa. I've never seen this many people in the stands. Before UCLA, USC, all those big schools, they're big, but they don't have 100 to 110,000 people screaming, yelling. So the SEC definitely, the football side was the biggest shock. His initial impressions of, when Josh Heupel, and these quotes is on Go Falls 247. He says, I would say definitely his actions backed up his words. He said you're going to have to earn stuff in this program. He said you're going to have to work hard. Ultimately, like I said, he lived up to it. So, it's all right. Quote's all right.
I mean, he's a laid-back dude.
Yeah, quote's all right.
So he's not going to have any quotes that burn down the building. Laid-back dude. I remember when he spoke to us during the spring, I said on air that he was one of my favorite players to talk to. Him and Jabari Small. Just laid-back, cool dudes. I could see
great ball skills, man.
Mm-hmm.
Great ball skills, strong hands. Got a nice body to be able to shield off defenders. He has a chance to kind of take that Jawan Jennings role and being a great jump ball catcher. And you need a receiver group that have guys that can do different things. And I think Tennessee is developing that with this group. But you didn't have enough diversity. You didn't have speedy guys, and you want to be able to have that. And this group has it. Now, Tillman is, one of those power forward center type of receivers. But you got guys like Jimmy Holiday and Jimmy Callaway and Jalen Hyatt that bring the speed, who are your point guards, your shooting guards in that room. So every time Tennessee needs a big play, Cedric Tillman is making a big one down the field, and when he does make it, it's on ESPN. So great concentration, again, strong hands. It's great when he's basically boxing out for a rebound on a jump ball situation. But yeah, he's in a different role, and when you switch over from a sophomore to a junior to do it right, it's kind of like being a parent. Like the moment you become a parent, you know that you are a model, and there's certain things you can't do, you can't say, or your kid's gonna mimic what you do say. This is why you don't drop F-bombs in front of your kids while they still learning how to talk, because they'll drop them too. So you're very careful about what you say. Well, some of the same applies with how you carry yourself as an upperclassman. There may be some things you want to do, you want to say, but you very conscious of those things because you don't want the young players to pick up on your bad habits. Yep. That's why it's important to not have knuckleheads in a room who are upperclassmen, because they can infect younger players and infect the room. This is why I give so much credit to guys like Marlon Walls and Corey Miller and Jock Smith in the Butch Jones era, the start of it, because they laid the groundwork for the young guys in that room because they bought in. So you got to have older guys that buy in. You got to have older guys setting examples, positive examples. You can't have your older guys in the locker room, the one like, man, coach will know what he's talking about, man. Man, coach, I don't know, man. Coach this, coach that. Whispering. And everybody got somebody like that at work.
Yep.
You got group project going on. You got group initiative. Always somebody talking about the boss or talking about other folks. Just create drama. Always a drama starter. But that happens in the football locker room too. It really does. Man, coach won't give me the ball. Man, they picking on me, man. They don't want to play me, man. They hating on me. They hating on me. So you got to keep those type of guys to a minimum inside of your locker room. And they dang sure can't be older guys because their voice rings a little bit louder than some of the younger folks who may say the same thing. Oh, man, they hating on me. Shut up, man. You're just a freshman. You got to prove yourself first. You got to prove yourself first. If a senior saying that can be a problem. Could be a negative influence. So Cedric Tillman, man, has a great opportunity to kind of lead these troops. I'm looking forward to fall camp. I guess I'll be watching practice on Saturdays. But fall camp, they'll be practicing all different times of the day. But when school starts, they'll be practicing in the morning. Fall camp, they'll be practicing all different times of the day. So we'll be showing up there at fall camp, and then we'll see who's first in line with the wide receiver group. I'm putting my money on Velus Jones. If I'm Velus Jones, I'm going first. I'm going first. I'm Velus. He's the oldest there, and he's the best all-around receiver right now. So if Velus Jones ain't first, I'm saying something. And I ain't even met Cody Burns yet, but that will be the day we meet. If Velus Jones ain't first in line, I'll tell you that he should be first in line. This is his time to shine. This is his time to prove that he can play at the next level and be the guy for Tennessee at wide receiver. Swain Event, be right back.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain Event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
DeadEndBBQ.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of selection? And are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com.
It's a tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Hey there, Swain Event listeners. I'm excited to share my new Keller Williams Realty app so you can tour homes without leaving yours. Not only can you search for homes in specific areas and neighborhoods, you can also have access to real-time market snapshots on stats like average home price and days on market, plus commute times from your office, school zones, and much more. Download my app today and get the most accurate information on buying, selling, and investing in real estate in your area. Just search for the Keller Williams Realty app and click on More in the lower right-hand corner. Type in Jennifer Morris in the Your Agent search bar, then save and you're set. And as always, feel free to reach out at 865-257-7897 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to ATFCU.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do. And when you're reading those, you start to shake your head. You start to scratch your head a little bit. You get confused. You don't understand why. You start to ask questions. But really, there's only one question that matters. What is that question, you may ask?
For what?
Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecues. Time for what here, and man, Ben got taken care of for today's for what. So Ben, hit us.
Can I really hit you?
Sure.
We're going to Memphis. Memphis,
everything. Memphis.
Whoop that tree. We're going to Memphis because a man pointed a gun at a family while trying to skip line at Taco Bell. This young man, whose name is Devin, is charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault after police say he pointed a gun at a family when they didn't let him cut in line at a Taco Bell drive-thru.
Man, what is this? Elementary school?
It appears so. Police say just before midnight on July 3rd, McNeil tried to cut in line at the restaurant in the 4,000 block. Is that how you say it? 4,400?
Well, if it's 400, say 400. If it's 4,000, say 4,000.
I know, but I didn't know if it was different. Like with, I mean, you from the hard streets of Chicago. I figured I could ask the expert.
I'm from Winchester Road in Huntsville, Alabama.
You're from Knoxville. The 4,000 block of Riverdale. When a couple in a car with 2 children didn't allow him to skip, McNeil allegedly pointed a handgun at them and chambered a round. The victim said, quote, "Today we need to just work together and get closer together because with COVID going on, violence going on, you see nothing but violence." Police were able to track down McNeil's car and arrest him. He is currently in jail on $10,000 bond. Come on, bro. You're doing too much. Pointing a gun at somebody, at a family with 2 young ones in the back because they wouldn't let you skip line at Taco Bell? What are you doing? So that's today's For What? A young man from Memphis.
Unreal, man. Taco Bell make you do that? Man, what are they selling inside those gordita crunches that make you act like that?
Now I'll say this: I've become big on the Bell because I didn't really eat it a ton growing up, and I always had this perception that it wasn't very good. And then I had a Doritos Locos Tacos, and I was sold.
If you say so. Bubba Gut Key. That's your nickname, Bubba Gut.
I'll take Bubba Gut over Bubba Gut Ben over Bama Ben or Vander Ben.
Yeah, Squirrel White. We got Bubba Gut McKee. My bad. My bad.
A video edit with my name spelled correctly that you spelled correctly.
My bad. It slipped. It slipped. A couple days ago, a vandalism suspect was in custody in Knox County Sheriff's Office after a man broke equipment at a construction site at a church at Cornerstone Church of Knoxville. This gentleman, according to the arrest report, the man was swinging from the pole like a stripper.
I'm sorry, what?
The suspect was swinging from the pole like a stripper. 28 years old. I ain't gonna say his name because he's local, and I ain't trying to have him pull up because he mad. We can do Memphis. That's a 6-hour trip. But according to the court documents, a construction worker at the site when the incident occurred told law enforcement that the gentleman was swinging from the pole like a stripper when he broke the equipment at the construction site Tuesday, June the 29th. The suspect is accused of damaging the equipment at Cornerstone Church of Knoxville. The replacement cost of the equipment is $14,300.
He's going to be paying on that for a while.
What was he on? What are you on? They got you doing this in the middle of the day. Drugs are bad. Okay. 865-255-03. Brandon. Oh, man. You funny, man. Vaughn Birmingham said that guy's so lucky he isn't, dead this morning. Talking about that our suspect for what? Volstorm says you are a drama starter, Ben.
How?
I don't know, man. Other McKee says, come on, Swain, never throw a G in there. My bad, I messed up, man.
Yeah, see, now you got 2 McKees to deal with.
I know. I messed up. Youth and experience. Opportunity is nowhere. I'm sorry. I got snap and clear. Manval says, I'm in lay with transferring to a rival school. If they hate the school they're leaving, no better way to get back at the school that did you wrong than go to their rival. Well, in this case for
Demetrius Robertson.
Yeah, Demetrius Robertson. If you want to get back at Georgia, you might want to go to Florida. Because that's probably the best team in the East, the best chance of actually beating Georgia.
Which quarterback would you rather have throwing you the ball, Bo Nix or Emory Jones? Both are better with their legs than their arm.
Well, it depends on if you're trying to win against your old team or if you're trying to have a better season. So if you're trying to win, you probably got a better chance of beating Georgia at Florida than you do at Auburn.
That's true.
So, but I agree with McNeil. Like if I'm not inlay, but he says I'm okay. Spell check there. But if my school that I'm currently at did me wrong, for instance, I get hurt and you don't tell me the truth about my injury or, something like that, I will be bitter. I will probably go to the rival school in that case. If I had a situation like that. But the thing that's really hard to get over is the fact that, man, you develop relationships with your teammates. The school can do you wrong. The coaches can do you wrong. But, man, in most cases, you have a good relationship with your teammates. That's what would kind of stop me from transferring to a rival school.
That's love college athletics because of rivalries like Auburn, Georgia. I know Auburn, Georgia's not Bama, Auburn, but they call it the Deep South's greatest rivalry, don't they?
Yeah.
Auburn and Georgia fans do not like each other.
It's a
legitimate rivalry.
It's a good one.
It's very competitive as well. So we love college sports because of that. I hate that the rivalries and the hate and the passion for that game is being diminished because of players transferring to a rival school.
Deep South's oldest rivalry.
That's right. Oldest rivalry.
I mean, it's a good one, man. It's a good one, and it's a real rivalry because they sometimes Auburn wins, sometimes Georgia wins. It's not lopsided like the rivalries we're part of right now. It hurt. Trust me, it hurt me to say it just as much as it hurt you to hear it, but it had to be said. Sorry. Don't get mad at me on Friday. Be happy. We're going to the phones to start hour number 3 here on the program. Tennessee gets a commitment from Squirrel White. My career is Squirrel White. 5'10", 160 pounds, speedster from Clay Chalkville High School there in Alabama. Tennessee gets a player with an offer list that includes Auburn and Florida State. There's an Alabama offer here, but who knows if it's committable. Georgia, they get a player. Tennessee gets a player that I think will continue to blow up, and we'll have to fight off some big schools later. Hour 3 coming up.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Let's get to the phones. Quick, hurry, Ben. Let's get to the phones. Hour number 3, powered by Low T Center, and we go to the Irish Networks hotline. Neil and Mafia, good morning.
Hey, guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Swain, one way or the other, we're going to have to field some kind of defense this year. So, based on your experience, as an offensive player, your experience, behind the scenes, knowing the personnel, all that kind of thing. If I were to ask you could you just sketch some kind of semblance of a working SEC-capable defense this year and kind of tell me what that would look like? 4-3, 3-4, 3-3-5. And you don't have a lot of top-caliber personnel, but there are a couple of players there that really could do really could show some improvement this year, make some strides forward, all that kind of thing. I'm always of the opinion that things are never as bad as they seem. And in all honesty, I really don't feel that our defense can go anywhere but up. Maybe I'm just whistling through the graveyard, or maybe it's addition by subtraction. But anyway, I always like hearing you talk X's and O's, and I thought, well, let's see what you can come up with, just briefly, because I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts on it are. Thanks.
No doubt, man. Neil Mafia, man. Happy Friday to you. Hope you have a good weekend. I think what we do when it comes to 3-4, 4-3, 3-3-5, I think it's gonna come down to personnel, and I think you got a nice mix of defensive coaches from different parts of the country that have different experiences. I don't know how much you can do a 3-4 with the dudes that you have, but I'm curious to see how creative Tim Banks is. Remember when we played West Virginia in 2018 and all preseason long, I was like, come on, man, this linebacker is 205 pounds and he's 210, man. Come on, he should be able to, create any havoc versus the SEC offensive line. And what did West Virginia do?
Create havoc.
Man, they stuffed our running game, made us one-dimensional.
That offensive line that year for Tennessee was trash.
We couldn't do anything. We were bigger. I don't know if we were stronger, but when you have more guys in the box standing up, it makes it a little bit harder for the offensive linemen to know their assignment, which is one of the advantages of running a 3-4. But then you take those 3 down linemen, and then you have what the offensive line would see, 6-7 guys all standing up, or 4 or 5 guys standing up, and it's kind of hard to identify responsibilities and know who's coming, who's not. So I think it's going to depend on what they get in fall camp and who they can depend on defensive line of what kind of fronts we'll see consistently. I would probably guess that we're going to see more of a 4-3 than a 3-4. But the depth, I think, is going to play a huge part in that too, because Tennessee, from the first wave perspective, should be okay. It's the depth that worries you, because in this conference you gotta have 8 guys, man. You gotta have 8 guys rotating in and out, because you want to keep the pressure on the offensive line. So that's gonna be a concern. It's time for a guy like Elijah Simmons. It's time for him to step up. Now he's been here a couple years, and it's just paramount for him to be a serious contributor in the rotation, especially when you just had two guys, lead the program. So defensively, I don't have high hopes defensively that we can line up and just stop somebody and have a bunch of 3 and outs. My hope is that you bend but don't break, that you force field goals in the red zone. If we can be a good red zone defense where the field constricts and it's a little bit harder to run certain patterns on the outside because you just don't have room, I like to see us bow our neck. And this is where getting taller corners come into play too, because you can defend those jump balls when the options run out for an offense because the room runs out. So a lot of offense just throw the ball up to a tall receiver and get the fade route. But if you got some taller DBs like we have brought in, you can kind of take that away. I feel like we're going to give up a lot of yards, but that doesn't mean you have to give up a lot of points if you are able to bow your neck and be a good red zone defense. So I think that's going to be our best bet to win games. While the offense is, and we had a conversation about this too, Ben, on air, I think they got to average 30-plus points to even have a chance in football games.
Yeah, and I'm sure they will, because the cupcake games will inflate that number. What I'll be looking for is how many points will they average in SEC games, because how many points they average in SEC games is going to dictate how good their season is. Because I'm telling you, Tennessee can go out and score 0 against Alabama, score 0 against Georgia, and at the end of the season they'll still have averaged 30 points because they're going to put up a 50 against a cupcake team, maybe do it twice. No matter how down Tennessee is, there are games within a season that they blow out the cupcake games and put up a lot of points. You go back in 2013, that offense struggled, but I think they hung 50 on Austin Peay in the opener.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to now 17, Butch's last year. Whew, that UMass game. I'd be curious if they hung 50 on somebody that year, even with a down season. But 18, I think they hung like 50 on ETSU or came close to it. So, and this offense may have more talent than that 13 roster and the 18 roster. I expect for there to be better quarterback play. There's no definitive way of knowing what a Joe Milton is capable of, but I feel comfortable enough to think that the staff will be able to get enough out of Joe Milton to where he's better than Justin Worley and better than 2018 Jarrett Garantano. I'm personally comfortable with saying that. So you're going to have better quarterback play than those 2 seasons. And even with those 2 seasons, like, again, you put up a ton of points against cupcake teams. So all that to say that I'll be curious to see how many they average in conference play, because that is going to be more telling of how Tennessee's season goes. If they average around 30 in conference play, Tennessee probably ends up with 7 wins this season. If they average 30 in conference play, if it's more around 25, then
that's a no-go.
Yeah,
I'm looking at last year's points per game in the SEC, and you got to keep in mind that we played an all-SEC schedule. So, but the bottom of the pack, Vanderbilt, 14.6, Mississippi State, 21.4. Tennessee was third to last in the SEC in points per game at 21.5. Kentucky, 21.8. South Carolina, 23.5. Auburn, 25. Arkansas, 25. Missouri, 26. LSU, 32. Georgia, 32. That's was Georgia's downfall, not to be able to put up points. But now we start looking at teams at that 30-point threshold. The teams get better. And the only team that doesn't fit is Ole Miss. Ole Miss was averaging 39 points per game, but they were giving up a lot of points too, and that's why their record was 5-5.
That's the type of defense Tennessee can't have, is an Ole Miss level defense, because at that point it doesn't matter what you do on offense.
But I'll push back and say Tennessee might need to have that type of defense and have an offense that's able to put up a lot of points like the Ole Miss offense last year. Because I think if you do that, remember all conference schedule, we went 5-5, and all conference schedule. What would that record be in a normal schedule? That record would probably be 6 or 7 wins if Ole Miss was playing a normal schedule.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
So I mean, yeah, Ole Miss's defense was terrible, but it was good enough for that offense. It balanced out for Ole Miss.
Yes,
it balanced out. So if Tennessee's defense is really, 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 really bad, that means it puts more pressure on the offense to be really, really, really good and put up more points. For it to balance out. So that's what I'm anticipating, man. I'm anticipating the defense to give up yards.
Yes.
It's just that when you get to the red zone, are you able to force some field goals? And that's what's going to give your offense a chance to carry the load and basically put the team on its back and go win games. So, special teams can't be a weakness, has to be a strength. And then your offense has to put up points, which the most important thing is finding a quarterback that can be consistent. Because without good quarterback play, we might as well just cancel the season. It ain't gonna be pretty at all. So you gotta have good quarterback play. And if you have that with a bend but don't break defense, even though you may give up a lot of yards, man, who knows what might happen, Ben?
Yeah. The problem is you can't pair this Tennessee offense with that Ole Miss defense, because that Ole Miss offense was exceptionally good.
It was great.
Matt Corral. I think Joe Milton can be good for Tennessee, but year one in a new system, is he going to be as good as Matt Corral was? Probably not.
I mean, wasn't Matt Corral in year one?
Huh?
I said, was it Matt Corral in year one in Lane Kiffin's system?
No, wasn't that year two?
Was that? I thought last year was Lane's first year.
Right, that was his second year at Ole Miss and his first in Lane Kiffin's system.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see, but I'm not going to place any bets on Joe Milton doing what, just because I haven't really seen Joe. We had at least seen a little bit of Matt Corral and his upside prior to Kiffin.
No, you're right.
I haven't seen anything from Joe Milton.
You're right.
Other than a couple of, I've completely taken out his Michigan experience. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to judge a quarterback based on what he did under Jim Harbaugh's offensive system that continues to waste quarterbacks. But Tennessee doesn't have any elite receiver right now going into fall camp like Elijah Moore, who was a early second round pick. I think
could have been a first.
Huh?
Could have been a first round pick.
Yes, I mean, he was one of the first picks in the second round. They had an all SEC tight end in Kenny Yeboah. They had an experienced, pretty strong offensive line. So
I think
you can't pair this Tennessee offense with that Ole Miss defense. Tennessee offense is going to have to play more to the level of that Ole Miss offense if you're going to pair it with that bad of a defense.
That's what I'm hoping. That's kind of what I'm banking. I'm expecting our defense to be as bad as Ole Miss's was last year, and I'm hopeful that the offense can be potent like Ole Miss's offense. That's my hope. And I think Lane Kiffin's system elevated a lot of those players on that team.
That's a good point.
And I'm hoping that Josh Heupel's system will elevate our offensive players, will be good for Joe Milton, elevates his game, take Jalen Hyatt's game to the next level. Velus Jones, this sounds like a perfect offense for those guys. That's kind of my hope and what I see possibly happening, that the system can elevate. I give you an example, man. Lucas Taylor had 1,000 yards in David Cutcliffe's offense. But when you think of a 1,000-yard receiver in the NFL, in the SEC, you're thinking, oh, he's definitely playing in the league for a long time. Well, as good as Lucas Taylor is, there's no shot at Lucas Taylor, but the system elevated Lucas Taylor's production because he was playing in a offense that was very friendly to the position that he played at wide receiver. So that position got a lot of balls. So, yes, Matt Corral's a good player. Elijah Moore's a good player. Ole Miss has some good players that Lane Kiffin inherited. But I'm pretty confident in saying that Kiffin's system elevated those players and showcased those players, and those players were able to produce a lot more than just any offensive coordinator coming in or any coach coming in under any offense. There's certain guys, there's certain offensive players, there's certain players that it don't matter what system they're playing in, they're going to show out anyways. Those are special players. Those are first-round picks. Those are franchise players. That's like Jamal Lewis. It don't matter if you wing T. It don't matter if you spread offense. It don't matter. Jamal Lewis is Jamal Lewis. He's going to shine in any offense. But there's some players where they're good, but the system elevates their play. That's what I'm hoping happens here at Tennessee. All right, let's get to the phones.
Rusty,
good morning.
What's good?
What's up, Rusty? Everything's good, man.
That's what I like to hear. So, a couple things today that was on my mind. That actually I haven't been able to call all week, so I had a lot of stuff on my mind. But you guys talking about yesterday, somebody asked about who's going to media day,
Mm-hmm.
and it got me thinking. So, let me start by asking a question. Just maybe you guys know or you have a feel for it. How many guys are in this quarterback race? Is it a two-horse race right now? Is it a four-horse race right now?
I don't think it's 4.
Is it 3, or is it Bailey and Milton?
In my opinion. But I don't know, man. This past weekend, I think it was Sunday evening. No, it was Monday because Swain and I took the day on Monday, and it was like 3, 4 o'clock, and I'm working on my computer. And when I work on my computer, I like to put on some type of game, regardless of what sport it is, and just have it on as background noise, just to be watching a sport because I'm a sports nut. And there was nothing on. The only thing that was on was a replay of last year's Virginia Tech and Miami game.
You didn't watch the hot dog eating contest?
No. You want to read D'Arval's Joey Chestnut comment from yesterday?
Let's not do that.
Swain does not want to do that. I wish you could have seen his face as he was mulling over his
I'm
response. But
I'm out on that.
I was watching Virginia Tech Miami, and I mean Hendon Hooker was making some plays, man. So I think it comes down to Milton and Harrison. But my point in bringing up watching Hooker make some plays. In that particular game, it just happened to be on. He made some other plays throughout the season as well. I feel wrong for counting him out. That's my point because he is a veteran, played at a pretty high level in the ACC, and has made some plays against good teams.
He's made more plays in that room than nearly anybody else in his college career.
Absolutely. So it's hard for me to count him out just because of what Swain just said, but also in watching him this spring, I didn't think he was a bad quarterback. He just doesn't flash. He doesn't flash the big arm that Joe Milton has or some of the plays Harrison Bailey makes every now and then. Hendon Hooker just doesn't flash, and maybe that's why I'm kind of thinking of him as third in line. And my overall point, Rusty, is that I kind of feel wrong for counting him out wholeheartedly.
Yeah, it might be a 3 quarterback race. I just don't think it's 4.
Yeah.
But I'm with Ben. Like it, here's a guy that made some big plays in big games. He has probably more big plays than anybody else in that room at the college level. He carried himself like the starter. Guys gravitated towards him. It's the first time that these guys saw Josh Heupel's offense. So it was new for everybody, to be honest. And if it's new for a lineman, new for a receiver, new for a running back, and you can see how it affects them, you better believe that it affects the quarterback because he's responsible for everybody on the offense. So, I wasn't surprised to not see a quarterback just kind of step up and be the guy and separate from the pack. I'm not surprised that no one did that, but when you look at the amount of first-team reps that he was getting versus everybody else, in spring it was Hendon Hooker and Brian Maurer.
Right. My reasoning for asking that isn't because I'm like dying to know who's going to be our quarterback. Whoever it is, I trust Heupel to put the right guy on the field. I'm not worried about that. I was just wondering if take Alante and take two quarterbacks. If it's a 2-horse race, and see how both of them hold up under the scrutiny, and all the questions are going to get asked. And because to me, that's part of being the quarterback is being able to handle yourself calmly. And I wondered if Josh would use that as a testing tool, so to speak. Take two of them down there with you and let them get berated with who's the guy.
You mean taking quarterbacks to SEC Media Days?
Yeah, take two.
Man, I am confident that there will not be a quarterback going to Media Days.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying doing it not for the reason of that's your best guy, doing it for the reason of screwing with them. Seeing how they handle all the questions they're going to get, and if they're mature and their calmness under fire of the media day.
Yeah, I don't think you want to create that. I can see some guys slipping up and a firestorm happening.